Okay, so hey, what's up? Welcome back to, already episode 73 of the Fortnite Mythbusters series. I know all my Mythbuster videos, the intros are pretty much the exact same, so if you guys have any ideas how I can improve this series, please at any time feel free to drop a comment of something you think could help improve this series. Also guys, just like always, if you do have a myth you would like me to test in the next or future episodes of the Fortnite Mythbusters, make sure to go down in the comment section down below and drop a comment of a unique myth for a pretty good chance to be featured. And you guys already know I love to set my like goals extremely high, so you know what, let's see if we can smash 50,000 likes on today's episode. I mean, 50,000 likes. Last time I set a goal that high we hit 110, which is insane. I doubt we could do it again, but let's see what happens. And last but not least, if you do enjoy my videos and you would like to see more, I am doing a face reveal at 500,000 subscribers, which is literally right around the corner, so make sure to subscribe and also turn on those post notifications to never miss another Fortnite Mythbusters episode. Anyways guys, without further ado, let's get right on into today's video. Going straight into the first myth. The first myth is, can you use a shockwave grenade to destroy a flying supply drone? Now in-game shockwave grenades, they are extremely useful because you can literally go through multiple structures at once with a single blast and you do not take any fall damage at all. So with a flying supply drone, so a lot of people are curious whether or not a shockwave grenade will at least launch your player through a supply drone, since it doesn't to vehicles and other things. When I did try this out, it was kind of confusing because I didn't know whether or not the structures around it caused the supply drone to break, but after testing it multiple times, I was able to literally launch my player straight up and directly through the supply drone, breaking it. All of the loot falls down on the ground, which kind of is a good thing to know, because if you ever land in a game, maybe you land on the roof and you get the shockwave grenades, but there's a supply drone kind of flying above you, you can't pickaxe it, you could always launch yourself up, and if you're lucky enough, you will end up hitting the drone and the loot will fall down straight onto your feet. Going into the next myth. The next myth is, will a junk rift destroy a flying supply drone? Very similar to the outcome of the shockwave grenade, the junk rift is a lot more deadly and will go through any structures no matter how high it is until it reaches the floor, until it reaches literally the bottom of the map. So with how powerful the junk rift is, it would only make sense for it to destroy a supply drone if it hits it directly, but from testing this in game, surprisingly the junk rift will not do anything to the supply drone. I mean, it'll destroy all of the structures around it no matter what material it is, if it's metal, if it's wood, or even brick, but it will go literally directly through the supply drone, which really does not make any sense. The only thing I could really think that makes sense out of this is that the falling object from the junk rift does not have a hitbox, which we learned in a previous episode of the Fortnite Mythbusters, but it still should do damage to the supply drone if it damages all of the walls around it and destroys them all instantly. Going into the next myth. The next myth is, what happens when all 100 players drop into Loot Lake's rift at the exact same time? Massive thank you for everybody who helped me out on this myth. If you guys want to help me out with similar ones, join my Discord, discord.gg/Nexiph. We do a lot of stupid stuff like this. But in game, I used my custom matchmaking code and we all dropped over Loot Lake and went through the orb rift at literally the exact same time, and the outcome was pretty crazy. Normally, after going through the rift, you will teleport straight up into the sky directly over the orb and you will be able to glide away, but after multiple people go through it, it will start spawning you random sides of the map. I mean, at one point we were spawning over the volcano, then a little bit later we were going over Tilted Town and even by Polar Peak, which really did not make any sense. So I guess in game, if you ever do have a massive group of people and you see a lot of people going through the rift, it might end up teleporting you into the storm because you won't go directly over the rift like regular. Going into the next myth. The next myth is, will a shield bubble protect your builds if there is a boombox right outside of the shield bubble's barriers, or I guess walls? Now if you're pretty new to Fortnite, I mean, the boombox hasn't really been in the main battle royale for quite a while, but it's still in creator mode and even playground. But basically what this item is whenever you throw it down, it will destroy builds no matter what they are for, I think it's like 15-20 seconds within its radius, and it's pretty overpowered when you're fighting, I'm not gonna lie. Since the shield bubble protects bullets from coming in or even out, will the boombox be able to damage structures while they're within the barrier of the shield bubble? Unfortunately though, the shield bubble will not protect your builds from a boombox no matter what. If there is a boombox on the ground, it will still do damage through a shield bubble's walls, which doesn't really make sense. Going into the next myth. The next myth is, can you launch through a junk rift's falling item with a shockwave grenade? Now the junk rift is known to kill you just about on impact if you are hit by it directly, and the shockwave grenade is known to launch your player through multiple builds at an extreme distance and take no fall damage at all, ball, which is really good late game. Combining both of these items together, it would only make sense that your player would launch through the junk rift's item and only destroy it in mid-air, not really die to it instantly, which is exactly what happened when we tried it in game. Unfortunately, it really does not make any sense. I mean, if you are smart enough to launch your player, I guess, through the junk rift's item, you kind of deserve to be alive, because if you do hear that rift crack and I guess you can't rotate out, if you throw it down, that would be a pretty amazing play. But again, it makes a little bit more sense because in a previous Mythbusters episode, we tested out something similar by launching our player out of a cannon into the falling object directly, and it killed us just about on impact, which I guess kinda answers the question to this one. So definitely, if you ever hear a junk rift's item falling down, you will not want to make contact with it no matter what, because you will probably die immediately. I mean, literally as you touch the object falling. Jumping straight into the next myth is, if you are a prop, will a Boogie Bomb affect you inside of Moisty Palms? Now, Moisty Palms is an interesting point of interest on the map here in Season 10, because whenever you press crouch, you turn into a random prop, which definitely changes the gameplay inside of this area. In a previous episode, we found out that shockwave grenades will have no impact on any of these items that you could turn into. You could turn into a car, you could turn into a plant, even like a lamp. No matter what, the shockwave grenade will have no impact on you at all while you are still a prop. Boogie Bombs are pretty interesting. They don't launch you back or anything like an impulse, but they do make your player dance, and a disco appears above your player when you are affected by the disco bomb. So will the same thing happen to you in prop hunt? Unfortunately, in game, if you are hit by a Boogie Bomb while you still are a prop in Moisty Palms, it will make your player do a dance while he's still the prop, of course. So it kind of looks a little bit funny. You also see the disco ball above the specific prop's head. So if it's a small prop like a lamp, of course the disco will be a little bit smaller, but it still does clearly indicate what prop was affected by the Boogie Bomb itself. Going into the next myth is, will you take damage by a storm flip while you are still doing the taco time dance? So while you do the taco time dance inside of Greasy Grove, you are known not to take any damage no matter what. If you're being shot, or even I guess if you go in front of a trap, or even take fall damage, you will take no damage whatsoever. When we tried this out, we threw down a storm flip and the taco time dance begun, and at first we were taking no damage by the storm flip at all. I mean, you were regaining health extremely fast, way faster than like 4 campfires around you with even a slurp juice. I mean, that's kind of how they keep your health up so high during this specific time. As soon as the toggle time dance ended, our players started taking the regular amount of damage as you would from the storm for that specific circle, which is a good thing to know. So I guess in game, if you ever see a storm flip in Greasy Grove and maybe you're low on health, you might want to go inside of the storm, because it will end up regaining your HP, and it's a good thing to know if you ever do have low HP in Greasy Grove. Going into the next myth is, while outside of Greasy Grove's rift barrier, are you able to destroy a llama by shooting it when it is inside of Greasy Grove? Now this is actually a really good myth, because in game when we tried this out, I was pretty shocked by the outcome. Even though the bullets were directly making contact on the loot llama while it was inside of the rift zone and I was outside of it, it seemed to be taking no damage at all. I mean, I shot multiple mags into it, and the loot llama, it definitely should have exploded maybe after 5, 6, or 7 bullets, but it literally did not take any damage at all, which was weird. After that, I personally went inside of the rift zone and pickaxed the llama, and it exploded after a couple of hits, which is normal, which is pretty interesting and makes really no sense, honestly. Going into the next myth is, if you throw a Boogie Bomb and you hit someone doing the taco dance, will it cancel out the dance, or will the Boogie Bomb have no effect at all? This is actually a really good myth and a difficult one to do, because if you don't know already, if you throw a Boogie Bomb while you're outside of Greasy Grove and your teammate or the enemy, if they're inside of the zone of Greasy Grove, it will do nothing. The Boogie Bomb could hit them directly and the player will take no effect at all, so you have to be inside of Greasy Grove in order for the Boogie Bomb to make them dance. When trying this, I tried it a couple of times and I had to wait for the music of the taco time to begin. I then threw the Boogie Bomb directly up in the air and had my teammate kind of land directly on it, and surprisingly, it basically canceled out the entire taco time dance, and you end up stop dancing before the taco time does end. Unfortunately though, since you aren't doing the taco time dance and you are able to run around after the Boogie Bomb, you still aren't able to build, you still aren't able to pull out your weapons, pickaxe, or do anything, so it's basically useless, and it's really not even an advantage over the taco time dance either way. Anyways guys, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are new to the channel, turn on those post notifications to never miss another Fortnite Mythbusters episode. Also, if you do have a myth you would like me to test in the next or future episodes, go down in the comment section down below and drop a comment, and I will see you guys next time.